Hi there. As we've entered another lockdown, I've had a few meltdowns this week, which is probably acceptable. However, if you're a parent of a child who has meltdowns and is angry and frustrated all the time, it's very difficult to live with. In this video coming up, Susan explains why children have meltdowns, why they're angry and they're frustrated.
Today we're going to look at meltdowns. Now, these cause problems for many families because you just don't know when it's going to happen. Sometimes you see a bit of a build-up, but sometimes it can just be an explosion and it's seemingly out of nowhere. I'm going to give you an analogy because this seems to work for parents and children to understand what's happening. If you imagine I'm sitting with a child who has meltdowns and the parents are in the office as well, and I'll say to the parents, imagine we are all pots of stew. Bear with me. And I'll say, the parents and myself, our pots of stew have a capacity at the top of the pot, and we're just, our stew is just simmering along. That's our lives. We simmer along. And if the exhaust falls off the car, that's like throwing a potato, big bit of potato into our stew. And yes, we come up the pot a bit, but we simmer back down again very quickly because logically we're able to think, well, sure, I can get the exhaust fixed tomorrow, or I know Jimmy who'll do it for me, or whatever. We can logically reason it out and calm back down again. Children who have meltdowns, their pot of stew has about that much capacity at the top of the pot, and they are boiling and spitting. Their stew's boiling and spitting all the time. So in the stew's context, one little bit of carrot going into their stew can be enough to explode the whole thing. And in life, the tiniest little thing can be enough. It can be their sock seam is annoying them, or they perceived as someone was horrible to them. Maybe they took it a bit literally, and so therefore it wasn't meant at all, but it's too far gone. They're already boiling and spitting, so the slightest little thing blows the gasket, they blows the lid off the pot rather, and they blub over the hob, they blub over the kitchen units, and it can go on for hours. They don't have the capacity to bring it all back in again and to calm it all down. That is because they are mainly living in fight or flight. The fight or flight part of the brain is the bleu part of the brain. It's the reactory part of the brain. It doesn't think. And they are walking about in this fight or flight mode most of the time. Because they are tight in their physical, and this is where we come in learning breakthrough, because they are tight in their physical, if you throw something to them, they'll likely catch it quite tightly and their shoulders will be quite tight. That really essentially puts a tightness around their brain almost, that they can't reach their logic, they can't reach the thinking part of the brain. The flip side of that is that once we get all of this relaxed and released by throwing bean bags, by using pendulum balls, by using a motor control stick, it's all loosening all of this area and calming it all down and getting the rigidity out of it. That then enables the child to reach their logic, reach their reasoning, and instead of them having a meltdown because you said they were going to Granny's straight after school and then you've changed it and they're going, but you said, instead of that they're going, well sure, that's okay, sure, we can go and see Granny tomorrow. And that's what happens. Once you can connect to your logic, you can visualise, well that's okay, tomorrow's fine. Whereas whenever you can't reach your logic, tomorrow doesn't exist. It all has to happen in the moment. Otherwise it's, but I have to process this whole situation again, and that is just too much like hard work for some of these children. So meltdowns generally, mostly, are a thing of the past by 6 months into this programme because they've reached their logic. Thank you.